I kind of look at every speaking opportunity kind of like an assignment. Because this is something that I didn't plan to do. As a matter of fact, had no interest in it. But about 10 years ago, I was in a position in my life to where I was a projected first-round draft pick. Had been playing a game of football since I was 7 years old, and I was watching film one day in the University of Tennessee's football complex. And as I'm watching film on the California Bears, my defensive backs coach, a guy by the name of Larry Slade, he comes into the room and he says, "Inky, I got some great news for you." I said, "What is it?" He said, "Man, can you believe you're a projected first-round draft pick? Automatic multimillionaire. I got your paperwork back. I got your grade back from the NFL. The only thing you have to do is play football." I drop the clicker, I get up, I run out of the room, I get my phone out, I call my mother and my grandmother, I get them on a three-way, and I said, "Listen," I said, "after this season, we will never struggle again." I said, "We will never miss another meal again," because I grew up inner city Atlanta in a two-bedroom home. There was 14 of us living there, and I used to sleep on the floor with roaches and rats, and I didn't sleep in a bed by myself until I went on my official visit to the University of Tennessee, and guys didn't understand why I didn't want to go out. And so you have a host when you go to college visits, and my host came up and he said, "Inky, we're gonna have a big time." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "Man, we're gonna go to a sorority party and we're gonna go to a basketball game." And I said, "Man, if you don't mind, can you please take me to the Marriott?" He said, "Yeah, I'll take you. You wanna go get changed?" I said, "Yeah, can you take me to the Marriott?" We pull up to the Marriott, I'm getting out of the car, and he says to me, he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." He said, "Are you sick?" I said, "No, I'm not sick." He said, "You want to stay in the Marriott?" He said, "Man, listen, I don't know if you've ever been to a college sorority party, but I think you need to go. It gets pretty wild." I said, "No, I have no interest." I said, "See, what you don't understand, this is my first time sleeping in a bed by myself, and it's a king size at that. So I don't care about a sorority party." But anyway, I start my junior season. I'm a highly touted NFL recruit, and I go out my first game, have a great game, interception, big hit. Everything is off to a great start. We get in the second game. We're playing against Air Force. Gets late in the game, about 2 minutes left in the game. And anybody that's ever watched a game of football, you know when you get 2 minutes left in the game is practically over unless you're playing against Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, right? And so the quarterback drops back, releases the ball down my sideline, a guy catches it, I go to hit him, and as soon as I hit him, it seemed as if every breath in my body left. My body went completely limp, stiffed up, I fall to the ground. As soon as I hit the ground, I blacked out. Never happened to me before. My eyes open, my teammates run over to me, they said, "Ink, get up, let's rock, let's go, man." I said, "I can't." They said, "What do you mean you can't? You always get up, we need you." The shock eventually left. It stayed in my right arm and hand, and the doctor came out and they put me on the spine board, and as they were wheeling me off the field, we get to the ambulance, and my father is standing beside the ambulance, and I'm the type of person, I believe there's some good in every situation that we face. I believe if you train your mind to see the good in the situations that you don't like, that brings you discomfort, that brings you a certain level of opposition, I believe if you train your mind to see the good in it, it's easy to extract it. And so I say to my father as I'm lying on the spine board, I said, "Pops, I got him, right?" And he looked back at me, he said, "Yeah, you laid a nice lick on him, but I think you got the worst part of this one." And the next morning when I woke up, my perspective had completely changed. I didn't think about if I was gonna play Alabama the third Saturday in October. I didn't think about if I was gonna play Florida the next week. Instead, with the situation, it was a heavy level of conviction attached to it. Even though people were coming in to check and see how I was doing, I was thinking about my legacy and I was thinking about my life in a manner of such, when people speak about you one day, well, the only thing they say about you is, "Man, that guy was an amazing athlete." But I thought about my life and I said, "Is this the only thing that people would talk about you? Football?" Like, well, the only thing they say is, "Man, that guy, I remember he was 165 pounds. He bench pressed 325 pounds. I remember when he ran a 4.38 in a 40-yard dash." Or will my life have something of substance and value attached to it? Will I just be this efficient but not effective individual? I did things right, but I never did the right thing. Like, will my life have something of substance and value that when people can see me and they can point to me, it makes them want to raise the standard and excellence in everything that they do and everything they're connected to and everything that they're part of? Or will people just say, "Man, this guy was a great jock, he was a great athlete"? And when I got out of that hospital, I thought I was driven when I played sports. I thought I was dedicated and committed when I played sports. But there's a quote that says, "When do a person start to really live?" When a person has faced death. And I came in contact with death, but I beat it and I conquered it and I survived. And I felt as if somebody pulled the shades up on my life and they said, "Now you see life for what it's really worth." My perspective had totally changed. And I went to rehab for my arm for 2 years, 7 days a week, straight. I had to learn how to walk again. I went from bench pressing 325 pounds, jumping a 40-inch vertical, to now my roommates had to help me take a bath because there were certain incisions that I couldn't get wet. And so one of my last visits, I got up off the table. I'm a pretty positive guy, speak life. You know, I believe in looking at situations with the right perspective. And I jumped up off the table and I said to the doctor, I said, man, are you seeing anything? Can you give me any good news? And he said to me as he dropped his head, he said, Ink, you probably will never be able to use that arm or hand again for the rest of your life. And I responded to him and I said, physically. And when the doctor looked at me and I said, physically, I said, I can't do some of the things that I wanted. I can't throw my kid up like I wanted to in the pool. Like some of the things I can't do. I said, but I could use this arm every day for the rest of my life by the way that I live my life, because I would never let a circumstance or a situation define my life. Adversity is adversity. And the reason I love adversity is because you don't judge a person's character by where they stand when everything is all good. Everybody can stand up and do good when everything is all good. Everybody can smile when it's sunshine. Everybody can do right when everything is going right. Everybody can do that. But everybody can't face opposition, adversity, and challenges and say, I've been waiting on you to come. I'm going to embrace you and I'm going to figure out a way to use you, because you will never turn me into a different person. You will never make me a person that people don't recognize before the adversity. You ever seen a person that faced something and you don't even recognize them?